So you notice that you see my screen, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So you notice that on every currency pair, there is an ask and there's a bid price. So what tends to happen is, let me get a straight line. So what tends to happen is the ask price is always higher than the bid price. Yeah, so the ask price is always higher than the bid price. So the ask price is always higher than the bid price. Yeah, so every single asset has this two price, because one is where a price where you, just like in a bank now, where you want to go and exchange currency. There's always the ask and the bid. So you buy at the ask price. So the person trying to sell this to you is asking for this price. So you've got to pay this if you're buying it. And the bid price is the price you sell at, as it were. So when you see on your chart, so on the chart, for instance, let me kind of do a screen dump if I can.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's happening here is this line you're seeing here is just one line, but that line is the bid line. Yeah. What is not being shown is another line that should represent
the ask price.
The ask price. So what tends to happen is if you have a sell trade, that sell trade will open exactly on the bid price. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a buy trade, it will open here. And because you don't see this other line, you're wondering, why is this like this? Why is it not opening at the actual price line? The reason is because this spread is there. So if you have a wide spread, it shows up immediately that you can see the gap is much. But if your spread is kind of very tight, then you can hardly even notice it. And so you don't ask that question. A lot of people don't ask that question.
Because I'm looking at what's this the spread, the GBP spreads, like they are high.
On those what are they called now? Those pairs that are not the majors, they tend to be high. So one thing you have got from me is this trade information indicator. So if I share my screen, if I share another screen now, so let's share this screen. So you can see my screen now, yeah? So this was the chart I did a screen dump of. So if you notice up here, can you see the chart?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You will notice up here that we have this on this indicator that you would have got from me. You notice here it says buy at, sell at. What that is just the buy at. So that's going to be the ask price, and the sell at is the bid price. So there, I make it easy for you to see that if you're buying at the current market, so if you're taking an instant trade, an instant execution trade, or a market order trade, you'll be buying at 0.68226, and you'll be selling at, if you're selling, you'll be selling at 0.68201. That's if you're taking an instant trade. Now, what I also have here is if you go across, you will see this, you will see pip value, and then you will see spread. So on this broker, you can see that AUD USD, which is the currency pair we are on now, is a 2.5 pip. Now you can manually calculate that by going to the market watch. And if I find AUD USD, that's it there. You can see if you do 0.68226 minus 0.68201, it's actually 2.5. So it's 0.00025, which is 2.5 pips. And up here, I make it easy for you to see it. Yeah. But if I drag a Euro AUD, for instance, now and drop it, you can see that that's slightly wider. On this currency, on this broker, it is 7.5 pips. Yeah. Then if I go to GBP AUD and drag it, you can see that the spread is 11.8. Does it make sense?
My GBP card is 15.
GBP card, if I drag it here, it is 11.3. So you can see with this our pari demo account, the spread is 11.3 pips, but yours is 15 pips. What broker are you on?
ICM.
ICM. So on that currency pair, it is 11.3. On my FXCM, which is the UK broker, my GBP NZD, you said, yeah? GBP NZD is actually 20.4 pips, believe it or not. But I can guarantee you that by tomorrow, when the market, more activities in the market, that will drop from 20.4 to maybe around 12. Because again, at the start of the market, when there are fewer participants in the market, the spread tends to widen. Just like in the market, it's just like demand and supply. So when there is less demand for something, the price of it goes up. So in this case as well, when there is less transaction or participants at the beginning of the market, you tend to have a higher spread. But once there are more transactions happening, constantly people are trying to get the best price. So they'll be looking for the best. So people are racing to give the best price. And so the spread just
closes down.
Yeah, closes down. So not just on Sunday, when the new candle, daily candle opens every single day at UK time, it will be 10 p.m. But on your broker, it will be 0000. On your MT4 server time, it will be 0000. At that time, you will always see that spread is wider than normal. Always happens. But on FXCM, for instance, if I go to my Euro USD, it is 2.7 pips. By midday tomorrow, it will probably be 0 point something pips. See now, all the GBP pairs are actually intentionally higher spread because people are avoiding it. Even GBP USD, which is usually 0 point something pips, is right now 12.9 pips on FXCM. On FXCM is 12 point something. On our pari, it is 3.4. Can you imagine that? Then on Forex, GBP USD is 3. So FXCM is not great right now. And Euro AUD on Forex is 7 pips. So that's not too bad. GBP NZD is what? 12 pips. So it's not too bad. Then if you go to Oanda, Euro AUD is 8.9 pips. What of GBP USD? Let's see what that is. GBP USD is 15 pips. Unbelievable. It's just the Brexit. It's the Brexit wahala. So every GBP pair is kind of on a wide spread. Wow, GBP NZD is even 20 pips. That's huge.
So you see, so that's the reason why.
Yeah.
This GBP, the gap down is like 46 pips. So
which one?
The high GBP NZD.
Yeah, that's the thing about the GBP NZD pair. Okay, on FXCM it is 40 pips. So because it's usually a wider gap, sometimes that spread isn't too much of a problem because that's currency pair. The other thing too you will see on the let me pull that up again. You will notice I also have something here that is ATR. You notice on the trade information indicator, ATR. ATR is average true range. So that gives you an idea of, in this particular indicator now, it is set up at 21 days. So the last 21 days, what has been the average range, average ATR, average true range of that currency pair? And I'm looking at GBP USD, and it's telling me that the ATR is 142. So it means that this currency pair on average has moved 142 pips every single day from the low price to the high price, that the average has been 142 pips. Yeah. So I also look at those sort of things. If you look at something like GBP NZD, the ATR is 224 pips. So that means as a fraction of the spread, as a fraction of the entire ATR is kind of still very okay, if you get what I mean. So 20 over 224 is about just below 10%. And if you look at something like GBP USD, which is 142, so it will be something like 3 divided by 142, which is still lower. Divided by 142 is about 2%.
Can you manually affect the auto trader?
Yeah, you can manually adjust things. You can manually close things. You can manually, yes. So sometimes I manually intervene, especially if I've hit 1% or 2%. I manually intervene and close the rest for that week.
But if the stop loss is adjusting, so you can manually, if you're moving the stop loss, will it automatically move the take profit part of it?
No, it wouldn't move the take profit.
Okay. But you can manually adjust any of those.
Yes.
But you said the stop loss is like a trending one. Does that mean that
no, the stop loss isn't a trend. It's not a trending one.
What did you? I watched the video now on the new
5TT wave.
The auto trader, the gap trader.
No, it's not trending. It's trailing stop loss, not trending.
It's trailing. I mean, so it says it's a trailing one. So which means like this now should take profit at 15 pips profit to close half of the trade, right?
Yes, 15 pips plus spread.
Okay, plus spread. Okay, no problem.
Because the reason I made it, there are two things there, yeah? Half of the trade will close 15 pips plus spread. Now, why I do that is to ensure that I have at least 15 pips. Because if you don't put spread into consideration, you might end up getting less than 15 pips, and definitely you end up getting less than 15 pips.
So the other half, Uncle?
The
other half?
It stays open. And then what starts to happen is the stop loss then starts to move if you're in profit. If you're not in profit, the stop loss is not moving. It just stays where it is. But if you're in profit, and once you're 15 pips in profit, not plus spread, once you're just 15 pips in profit, the stop loss starts to move. Now, if you notice what Chidi said in the chat room, he said that the new system, which is what you've got, the new system is designed to kind of protect against reversals, because price tends to reverse. And if you're not out of that trade, you lose any profit you've made. So it's better for me to take me 5 to 10 pips profit and be safe with my money, protecting my capital, than hoping that price will retrace, then reverse again, and that never happens for several days. You know, so sometimes, and a lot of times in the new system, it will appear that you're only getting 5 pips. But I also posted something just now, this evening, on the group chat. And that thing is something that one guy that is really successful, he took $5,000 to, I think it was something like $500,000, something like that, in about 5 years. Yeah, $5,000 to about $500,000 in 5 years. And there's something he said there that was profound when I was listening to him. He says He put it as a formula. Let me read it.
Less plus less profit, equal to more profit.
Yes, he says less risk plus less profit equals to more profit. Until one understands this concept, he will be chasing after shadows and boom and busts in the market. Oops, can you see now that it's only now that you see it is just 2200. Now that our pari opened, it's just now that our pari has opened their trades. And so now one currency pair is showing as a gap just this minute. So that means our pari followed the right time, 2205 for UK time, but it's 2300 for us. So I was kind of correct. Even FXC, even FX, no, Insta Forex. Insta Forex has just now opened trades. Yes, my gaps have just opened now, automated on Insta Forex. And let's see if it's the same with what do you call them? Owanda. So yes, I was correct what I was saying. So some brokers opened early, 1 hour early, but the right time to open is now, 2206. Well, 2200, but it's now that trades are beginning to trigger as the broker opens the platform. So you can see here now, if I did this now, that should trigger a trade, shouldn't it? GBP NZD. That should trigger a trade. Oh, it doesn't have the EA on it. So let me see if I'll put the EA. The gap trader. So let's see input normal. So entry now. Let's see whether we'll get a trade. Oh, it says this EA is not licensed to be used on this account. Oh, yes, I didn't license it on. Sorry?
I say your own stuff has caught up with you.
Yeah, on this account, I have not licensed it to be used on this account, so it is kicking me out now. Yeah. So I'm going to just buy this one now manually. One click trading buy 0.05. I'll just buy. Boom. Doom. Push. Doom. Push. Doom. Push. Doom. Push. Push. Doom. Push. Doom. Push. Push. Doom. Push. Doom. Boom. Let me set my stop loss. You can see what I'm going to do now to set my stop loss. If you're manually trading this, I will use the last level of support. That's why I'll place my stop loss, and then I'll just place a target. Normally, I'll just do this above the what do you call it, the gap, but I might give it a bit more, make it about. Okay, we can make it actually the size of the gap plus spread. The spread is 10 pips. The gap was 18. So 10 plus 18, 28. So let's just make it probably about 28 here. Something like that. Boom. So let's see. It's a high probability system. That's why I would do it this way. It doesn't, because this doesn't, it's not like your traditional risk management rule, which is going 1.5 to 1 or 2 to 1. This looks like 0 point something to 1. But it is because this is a high probability trade. There's a high probability that price will close the gap. And so that's why I can do this way. Any questions? Right. Any questions, or should we call it a night? Sorry?
No question for me.
I'm not hearing you.
I said no question for me.
Okay, all right.
No questions, sir.
Fine, I'm fine.
You're fine. Okay, thank you. Sorry, guys, the thing just disconnected again. So yes, let's have a good week, everyone. And any questions during the week, let's know. Yeah.
Okay, good
Okay,
night.
thank
All
you.
right. Good night.
Bye.
Thanks once again. Just thanks, and just keep being committed this way. It's usually a lonely journey, but at least we have a few people you can talk to.
Right.
But yeah, let's keep doing it. Okay.